Don't know, I'm quite feeling at home here, but still I don't know what is the mood on Motzei Shabbat. Some people on Motzei Shabbat want to just have fun, and other people are on Shabbat already willing to go in depth into subjects and keep on the spirit of Shabbat to more limud Torah. So I took the risk and decided that this is what you want. And we are going to... I hope this is not a total mistake. And if yes, I ask your forgiveness from the beginning. In front of you, you have many sources which are both in Hebrew and in the English translation. I'm not used to study these sources in English, so I will use my fluency in Hebrew and will read the Hebrew, and sometimes I will ask one of you to read out loud the English in order that things will be really clear. The major questions that I would like to ask ourselves, and I see I think I'm right. I see me as part of you and as part of larger communities that have a lot of concerns and questions regarding the halacha. Concerns because halacha is not so much observed anymore. Many people are feeling disconnected to halacha. Because they don't understand, because they don't want, because it is a severe obligation, because of all kind of reasons, because they didn't learn, because one can be a Jew without being observant, walking around, finding all kind of ways to go around the halacha and not strictly adhere to it on one hand. And I think that I share these concerns with you, with many, many people. This is on one hand. And on the other hand, I speak for myself, but I think that I'm not speaking only for myself. There are so many times there is this feeling that halacha is stuck. It is not speaking in the language of our days. It does not have the answers for the major questions of our days. And we are torn between these two polars in a way. And there are many implications to this thing, educational, the way that we lead our communities, in the place that I spent most of my life, in the Midrasha, it is really a major question. How should we learn together halacha? What are we going to do with all the big questions that my students are raising up in all kind of aspects of life? And is halacha relevant, or should halacha be relevant? Perhaps halacha shouldn't be relevant. Perhaps halacha is something. The question can be. One can say that halacha shouldn't be relevant, and halacha should be adhere to one way, and we will change our life according to the halacha. And on the other side, one can say the halacha should be part of our life. This is derech hayim. Halacha is from the word lelechet. It should move ahead according to our lives. And it raises up a lot of questions. And I would like to speak today about one aspect of these big questions. And this is about halachic censorship and classified halachot. Is there halachic? And what is the meaning of halachic censorship? And then we start with the Mishnah. This Mishnah is in Masechet Shabbat, and Masechet Shabbat, and the Masechet Shabbat is dealing with the problem of טלטול 4 אמות ברשות הרבים, או הוצאה מרשות לרשות, וגם שתי הבעיות האלה, taking something from the private domination out to the public, or working with something in the public domination with 4 cubits, 4 cubits, that's the major question. And there is a Mishnah, and the Mishnah says, and I will read the Hebrew, and someone will be my reader, who is just right away reading the English. Oh, Shoshi, Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. יופי, thank you. מי שהחשיך בדרך, נותן כיסו לנוכרי. ואם אין עמו נוכרי, מניחו על החמור. הגיע לחצר החיצונה, נוטל את הכלים הניטלים בשבת, ושאינם ניטלים בשבת, מתיר החבלים והשקים נופלים מעליהם. משנה.
If darkness falls upon a person on a road, he entrusts his purse to a Gentile. But if there is no Gentile with him, he places it on the ass. When he reaches the outermost courtyard, to remove the object which may be handled on Shabbat, whilst as for those which may not be handled on Shabbat, he unties the cords and the sacks fall off automatically.
Have you got it? Do you have it? In front of you? Yes? So, it's on the third page. Those that need the English, leave the English in front of you because the Hebrew gets more and more difficult to understand. But I will start with this Mishnah. In saying in different words, the Mishnah tells us how one could get around the halakha. The halakha is that if it is dark, it's Friday, and it is already dark, so one should not do anything that is forbidden on Shabbat. Full point, with no exceptions. I think that this is the way that we understand Shabbat. We light the candles and we know. Before lighting the candles, things were allowed, and now it is not allowed. But what if in this case, and the Gemara asks immediately, why did the rabbis permit this? Why? This is the Gemara, my tama sharu leRabanan lemeitav kisa lenuchre. Why? This is the why did a rabbi permit him to entrust his purse to a Gentile? It is not Shabbat. Asur. So, it is written, Kim lehu leRabanan de'en adam ma'amid atzmo al mamono. אילו שרית לי, את אלעתו יהיה 400 ברשות הרבים, שושי בבקשה.
The rabbis knew for certain that no man will restrain himself where his money is concerned. If you do not permit it to him, he will come to carry it 4 cubits in public ground.
So, just like that. Kim lehu leRabanan, this is an expression. They know nobody will leave his purse out there. So we will find a way that he will not have to leave his purse, his money. Imagine that he worked 6 days to earn this money. No one will leave it, so we let him give it to a Gentile. A solution.
And the chamor is more work than the kiss.
Okay, and then it keeps on, but the other option is his ass, and if there, and then it is written en sham. I'm reading the Hebrew, but this is the following. I skipped some, but the following chapter. En sham lo nochri, velo chamor, velo cheresh, velo shote, velo katan. These are all the options. Those that are not obligated to observe Shabbat. Okay, but he is by himself. Then what? Kimlu, that nobody will leave his purse behind. אמר רבי יצחק, עוד אחרת הייתה, ולא רצו חכמים לגלותה.
Isaac said, there was yet another expedient, but the sages did not wish to reveal it.
There is another way to go around. But the sages did not. There is a list. Gentile, his ass, a deaf mute, a minor. This is the list, but there was another way. And then sages did not want to reveal it, and who will reveal it? The Gemara in the following sentence. The sages in the Gemara, the following sentence. So, מהי עוד אחרת הייתה? מוליכו פחות מ4 אמות. So what was, please?
What was the other expedient? One may carry it in stretches of less than 4 cubits at a time.
At a time. Okay, so you'll walk a step or a very small step, put your purse, walk another step, lift it up, put it away, and this way. And then they ask, "Amai lo ratzu chachamim legalota?" Why were the sages unwilling to reveal it? It seems to be the best solution. Most people don't have all these assistants around them when they run home on Friday. Perhaps they ask, but a gentle walk next to him, "Oh yes, it's Shabbos, give me your purse." And who will give his purse to a Gentile? He will run away. So it is really, it's who said that the rabbis didn't have a sense of humor? They really have, because but it's amazing what is written here. And why did they want to reveal it? And then they quote a pasuk, "Mishum kvod Elohim haster davar, ukvod melachim chakor davar." The translation is the glory of kings is the glory of God is to conceal the thing, but the glory of kings is to search out the matter. In other words, the meaning of this pasuk is that sometimes one should not open all the options while it is relating to Kadosh Baruch Hu, but on the other hand, if there are things around kings, governments, dig in, find out, write it in the newspapers and then you can say everything. But relating to Kadosh Baruch Hu, sometimes you unreveal thing. That's what is written. Why? Hacha, my kvod Elohim ika. So here, what is kvod Elohim? Dilma atelatuye 4 amot birshut harabim. So what is the thing? Lest one come to carry it 4 cubits in public realm. This is because people will use it, and okay, I have another hour to make some business, and then it will take me 2 hours to go home, and perhaps Shabbat will be in, but I will be able to use it. This is Kvod Elohim Aster Davar, which is very reasonable. So the solutions to such situations are solutions that are not depend only on him. Those that were revealed in the Mishnah, he needs someone to help him. So we cannot count on it. But once the solution is that it only, I can do it whenever I want, then people will be B'chalel Shabbat. And therefore, so reasonable. Really. Okay, then it is written. Tanya. And Shoshi will read the translation. Tanya, Rabbi Eliezer אומר, בו ביום גדשו שיער. רבי יהושע אומר, בו ביום מחקו שיער. תניא, משל דרבי אליעזר, למה הדבר דומה? לקופה מלאה קישואין ודילואין, אדם נותן לתוכה חרדל והיא מחזקת. משל דרבי יהושע, למה הדבר דומה? לערבה מלאה דבש, נותן לתוכה רימונים ואגוזים, והיא מקיאה. Now translation, please.
It was taught, Rabbi Eliezer said, on that day they overfilled the measure. Rabbi Yeshua said, on that day they made the measure deficient. It was taught as an illustration. What does this resemble on Rabbi Eliezer's view? A basket full of cucumbers and gourds. A man puts mustard grain therein and it holds it. As an illustration, what does this resemble on Rabbi Yeshua's view? A tub full of honey. If one puts pomegranates and nuts therein, the tub overflows.
It's amazing. Let's look at Rashi. Rashi explains מחקו שאה. You can see down there, Rashi מחקו שאה. במידה מחוקה מדדו בה ביום, שהרבו לגזור יותר מדי ואין יכולים לעמוד בגזרתם, ומתוך כך עוברים על דברי תורה, נמצאת, לא, I had to start beforehand. בו ביום גדשו שאה. So one saying is רבי אליעזר, and רבי אליעזר said, אותו יום הרבו לסייג לתורה במידה קדושה ויבה, מדדו להרבות גדר בישראל. You don't have the in front of the thing. It's written, they overfilled the measure at that day, they have decreed 18 degrees, and this is an expression of appraisal. How nice that they put so many decrees. It made the Torah even bigger. הרבו במידה קדושה ויפה. It is an appraisal to this decision to hide solutions and to say this is not allowed. On the other hand, the saying of Rabbi Yoshua, בו ביום החכו שאה, and I read רש"י, במידה מחוקה מדדו בו ביום, שהרבו לגזור יותר מדי ואין יכולים לעמוד בגזרתם, ומתוך כך עובדים על דברי תורה. נמצאת מידתם מחוקה מתפיפתה, וטוב להם היה להיות מידתם תפופה ולא תפל למחק מרוב גודשה. And Rashi explained they made the measure deficient. That you can read, I think, already. Yeah? Yeah, you know? They have decreed too much. People cannot stand by those measures, and therefore they might disobey the deoraita as well. So two ways to understand. Yeah.
אבל אני לא מבין, I was speaking, there is no indication that we are speaking about a takana. Rabbi Yitzchak, it's important to note, it's a Tana, Babylonian Tana says that there is another solution. Well, and then the Gemara explains the solution, and then they bring bright of Rabbi as it was a takana, it was what is the Shmona Asar Devarim, and I don't think so.
This is the connection that the Gemara made. I didn't make it. The Gemara made this connection. The Gemara saw this situation, that there are certain solutions to such, that the Mishnah suggests solution to go around the Shabbat and unreveal the best solution of all. The Gemara compare it to the Shmoneh Esrei Davar and brings these two ideas about Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yoshua. This is not me, this is the Gemara. The Gemara thinks that they are expression of two ways to understand decrees. One way is to say, like I take first of all the description. It's amazing. The one with the cucumbers and the gourds. And if you put in it the mustard are small seeds,
yes.
and the cucumbers shake in the basket. But if you put all these small seeds in it, it's like saving them from falling out. So it is the best thing is to add more and more siyagim, more and more, and then the Torah will be reserved from falling apart. But the other, Rabbi Yoshua suggests another thing. He said the Torah is already a pile full of honey. And if you put more nuts and pomegranates in it, it will overflow. So don't add new. If something, and I will explain it in a different way, if something is allowed, say it. This is Rabbi Yoshua. Say what is allowed so people will observe and keep very strict to Shabbat. And Rabbi Eliezer say, don't say it, because people will, everything will shake and the cucumbers will fall out. You have to hold this with this siyagim, with these degrees, in order that it will be all safe. Shabbat is so delicate. So, look, this moment from Friday to Shabbat, it's so keep it by adding more chumrot, more, and if one. I think that each one of us can be an advocate to both to both, and claim good things to both approaches to halakha. I want to go to another example, which goes far away, but it is a beautiful one, a really, really beautiful one. And this is in Sefer Shmot. Firstly, there is a pasuk from Sefer Shmot, and the pasuk is about the table that was a holy table that was in the Mishkan. And this holy table, it is written, I'm reading the Hebrew, ועשית שולחן עצי שיטים, וציפית אותו זהב טהור, ועשית קערותיו וחפותיו וכסותיו ונקיותיו אשר יסח בהם, ונתת על השולחן לחם פנים לפני תמיד. And the words that I want to emphasize is that the showbread would be placed on the table continually, tamid, 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 tamid. צריך להיות שם. One of these continually, תמיד, that appears in the Mishkan in so many ways. קורבן תמיד, אש תמיד, נר תמיד, לחם תמיד, תמיד, תמיד. Something that continually. Then, right after, there is a Mishnah from מסכת מנחות. The Mishnah מסכת מנחות שושי, prepare yourself. המשנה ממסכת מנחות, there is a beautiful description of all kind of procedures in the Mikdash, and one of them relates to this bread. The bread, as you know, has been changed on Shabbat. Every Shabbat, new bread had been put on the table, and the Kohanim that finished their week of work in Beit HaMikdash got the old bread as their food for this Shabbat. It is not an old bread because everything was there was no chametz. It was not so one can eat it like crackering. I don't best crackers, but matzah. I don't know, something like that. I think that's okay. So I read the Mishnah. שני שולחנות היו באולם. מבפנים, על פתח הבית, אחד של שיש ואחד של זהב. על של שיש נותנים לחם הפנים בכניסתו, ועל של זהב ביציאתו, שמעלים בקודש ולא מורידים. ואחד של זהב מבפנים, שעליו לחם הפנים תמיד. So read this translation that will be on the same page. There were two
tables inside the porch at the entrance of the house, the one of marble and the other of gold. On the table of marble they laid the showbread when it was brought in, and on the table of gold they laid the showbread when it was brought out. Since what is holy we must raise in honor, but not bring down.
Okay. Now what happened? 4 כהנים נכנסים. 2 בידם 2 סדרים, ו2 בידם 2 בזיחים. ו4 מקדימים לפניהם. 2 ליטול 2 סדרים, ו2 ליטול 2 בזיחים. המכניסים עומדים בצפון ופניהם לדרום, והמוצאים עומדים בדרום ופניהם לצפון. אלו מושכים ואלו מניחים, וטפחו של זה כנגד טפחו של זה, שנאמר, ונתת על השולחן לחם פנים לפניי תמיד. So now please read this description.
4 priests entered, 2 bearing the 2 rows of the showbread in their hands, and 2 bearing the 2 dishes of frankincense in their hands. And 4 went in before them, 2 to take away the 2 rows of the showbread, and 2 to take away the 2 dishes of frankincense. Those who brought them in stood at the north side with their faces to the south, and those who took them away stood at the south side with their faces to the north. These withdrew the old, and the others laid down the new. The handbreadth of the one being in the side of the handbreadth of the other, for it is written, before me continually.
That's it. Okay. So they pushed and pulled, and the fingers or the hands touched each other, and in this way, in this manner, they kept the rule that the bread will be continually on the table, lechem panim lefanai tamid. And I think the panim, it was really beautiful because they were panim el panim. They looked at each other, and in this moment, they turned over the responsibility of doing the work in Bet HaMikdash for the coming week. So I think that this description is not only technically how they switch the bread, but also how they switch the shift that they.
Changing of the gods.
Changing of the gods. Yeah, that's it. Yes. Thank you for this. This is changing of the god, and this was inside the holy part of Bet HaMikdash, near the table, and that's. I think it's a very nice description. But, רבי יוסי אומר, אפילו אלו נוטלים ואלו מניחים, אפילו אתה תמיד. You don't have to, just like that. They took it and they came right after. They didn't wake up yet. I don't know what. So afterwards they put it like, it's like a pin in a balloon, and all the beautiful description, just like that. No, mele. No, you don't have to be such a fool. Whenever. And I remember this, Rabbi Yosef, because it's like because they keep on saying, יצאו נתנו על שולחן של זהב שהיה בעולם, הקטירו המזיחים והחלות מתחלקות לכהנים. So that's the end of the description, and they finished the ceremony, and then they had Shabbat meal with these chalot. Now the Gemara. Tanya. Rabbi Yossi Omer, in the Braita, which is parallel to this Mishnah, it is written, Rabbi Yossi Omer, אפילו סילק את הישנה שחרית, וסידר את החדשה ערבית, אין בכך כלום. אלא מה אני מקיים לפניי תמיד? שלא ילין שולחן בלא לחם. This is for you, Shoshi.
It was taught, Rabbi Yosef says, even if the old showbread was taken away in the morning and the new was set down in the evening, there is no harm. How then am I to explain the verse before me continually? It teaches that the table should not remain overnight without bread.
Okay. Up until your former, but we sense something that it's one way or the other. It's either you are so strict to the fact that it is your obligation that there will be bread on the table always, or not so. Yeah.
The discussion is about the definition of tamid.
Mm-hmm.
It can be every day, or it has to be continually.
That's right, yeah. And one can say that korban tamid is not continually, but it is every day in the morning, afternoon. While esh tamid is continually, and ner tamid is continually. So both options of understanding the word tamid exists in the midrash, in the mikdash. That's right. Okay, so they are through. Okay, they are. Rabbi Yossi is okay. He's not.
Yeah.
But look at and there I wanted to lead the thing. Rabbi Ami said, מדבריו של רבי יוסי נלמוד, אפילו לא שנה אדם אלא פרק אחד שחרית, ופרק אחד ערבית, כי יהיה מצוות לא ימוש ספר התורה הזה מפיך. אמר רבי יוחנן משום רבי שמעון בן יוחאי, אפילו לא קרא אדם אלא קריאת שמע שחרית וערבית, כי ים לא ימוש. ודבר זה אסור לאומרו בפני עמי הארץ. ורב אמר מצווה לאומרו בפני עמי הארץ. Now, Shoshi, please.
Rabbi Ami said, from these words of Rabbi Yossi, we learn that even though a man learns but one chapter in the morning and one chapter in the evening, he has thereby fulfilled the precept of this book of the law shall not depart of thy mouth. Rabbi Yochanan said in the name of Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, even though a man but reads the Shema morning and evening, he has thereby fulfilled the precept of this book of the law shall not depart. It is forbidden, however, to say this in the presence of Hamei Haaretz. But Rava said it is a meritorious act to say this in presence of Hamei Haaretz.
It's amazing. It's really, really amazing. So the entire thing of lechem panim lefanai tamid, all this discussion was just introduction to the things that I wanted to speak about, and these are the saying of Rabbi Nami. And these are two ways to understand what is the meaning of Torah. Is the meaning of Torah generally, or Limud Torah, Talmud Torah, this is the meaning of Limud Torah, or our ownership of the Torah, our obligation to the Torah, our relationship with the Torah, is that whenever someone is moving a step towards the Torah, he is already in, or we should put down statements and say, Torah is not just like that. You came in Mincha Ma'ariv, short shiur, reading a Mishnah, something like that, and say, okay, I am part of the world of the Torah. This is something that one should invest. והגית בו יומם ולילה. And the implications of those two views are enormous. What is the right thing? And it is surprising, so surprising, that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the one that spent 12 years without doing nothing else except for Limud Torah, this is what he did. He said, it's okay if someone will say Kriyat Shema in the morning, Kriyat Shema in the evening, but don't tell it to Amei Haaretz. But we, inside our club, know that it is okay. How come? And on the other hand, Rava said, never say to Amei Haaretz. And why should we say to Amei Haaretz? Rava said, you should say to Amei Haaretz. So why should we say to Amei Haaretz? Why should we say to Amei Haaretz? Because if we will let him in, he will be already in. Then, inspiring by the power of the few words that he knows in the Torah, that will lead him to learn more. I think this is what Rava says. On the other hand, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said that if you will say out loud, out there, that it is enough to say Kriyat Shema in the morning, Kriyat Shema in the evening, and that's the end of it, that will be the end of Limud Torah. Torah demands investment. So we know that if a person reads Kriyat Shema, we know for sure the halakha is that this is enough. But this is not a way to raise up generations of Lomdei Torah. So what is the right way? And the Gemara leaves us like this. Of course, there is no bottom line to such an argument. It leaves it for us. Yeah. Yes.
Could one say that if the basis of this discussion is their concern of how can we best preserve the Torah and how can we best preserve Jewish people, that we can say, well, for some people, this way is going to help keep them, and for other people, this is going to be the way.
Yes.
You're right. Not always the same.
This is the question, and this is their concern. The only thing is that there are people that think that this is the only way, and there are people that they don't say, let's find out what are our demands from Jewish people. Come over, be there for a minute. Let's open all kind of Batei Midrash. In Israel it is so common. There are all kind of Batei Midrash. Pluralistic, this way, the other way, all kind of. But the idea is that if you will be there and will open your mind, your ears and your mind to Limud Torah, you will be part of Limud Torah. And without it, you won't be part of it. Other people will say, this is not Limud Torah. Limud Torah is something that you should invest in. You should be observant. You should mean what you read. You cannot read mitzvot and then decide to disobey the mitzvot. Torah is something that you have to be click to it all the time, like the description of changing the bread. Not a single moment without it. Amazing. Yeah.
But this is not new. This was the whole foundation of Chassidut, that the common person who didn't learn much was also religious and kept Yahadut, even though he didn't sit and learn, but he worked. This
Yes.
is not new.
It's not new because it's already in the Gemara. And later on, at least in the way that we used to understand the revolution of the Chassidut, this is part of it. But I'm not so sure that all the great masters of the Chassidut will agree with you. Let's say Maggid Mezerich would have said that one should learn Torah from early morning until next early morning without any break. So it is not necessarily the view of entire, but as a result, this was the result, that people felt that they are connected in spite of the fact that they were not Talmidei Chachamim, did not know how to speak the word, did not how to be in the language of Limud Torah, and still be part of the Hashem. And in that description, you are 100% right. I think that this is a big question. But the difference between the example that you give and our concerns is that in our life, there are people that are, those Hasidim were not learned people. Perhaps they didn't know to learn a single sentence in the Torah. But they felt connected, and so they said, okay, come in spite of the fact that you don't learn Torah. But I'm speaking about people that are not observant, are Chiloni, have Jewish identity because they were born Jewish, but they are not considered being obligated to the Torah. And is Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai right? Don't say these words to Am Haaretz. Why should not stay in this position and learn here and there and say, okay, the Torah is so beautiful? Or not? Or be a Rava and open all the gates you can. And people will go in, and then they will find their way this way or the other. Okay. The following...
Can I suggest something?
Yes, please.
Maybe we can find the answer when we look at how rabbis deal with halachic questions.
Yes.
If you ask a rabbi if this dishwasher is kosher or not for Pesach, then not everybody will get the same answer. So, which means that it depends on the person, how far you can go.
But this is a narrow example. Of course, we all know that the rabbi will say to one woman that the hen is kosher and she should prepare it for Shabbat, and another will buy another one. But this is an individual. I think that what they are speaking here is about the policy. What is the role of Batei Midrash? Open your gates. It takes me back to a story that I'm sure that you're all familiar with, the day that they threw Rabban Gamliel from being the head of Beit Midrash, and then it was said that Rabban Gamliel put a man at the entrance of Beit Midrash, and this man said, anyone that his inside thoughts are not en tocho kevaro, how do you say it?
Not sincere. Not sincere. Yeah.
He's not sincere, but it's not en tocho kevaro. I don't know how to translate it, sorry. But it means that inside he doesn't think as he shows himself outside, will not enter Beit Midrash. And that the day he removed from his position, he has been removed from his position as the head of Beit Midrash, they needed to put more and more benches into Beit Midrash because it was open and everybody wanted to come and learn Torah. And then the Gemara said there that they put in 200 new benches, no, even more, 300,000, 12,000, I know numbers, exaggerating numbers, saying that if you put a guard in the entrance of Bet Midrash and putting such a high demand that one will be so sincere and his inner thoughts will be, the fact that he comes to Bet Midrash reflects his inner thoughts that he is 100% into the way or the life of Bet Midrash, then all the people stand outside. And once you open the gates, everyone come in. But then there is a note. Rabban Gamliel felt very uncomfortable with it. And he said, perhaps I prevented people from learning Torah. And what was that? At night he had a dream. And in his dream, he saw white, beautiful white jars. But inside them, there was ashes and not clean water. Meaning that he was right. Or meaning that it is just a dream and he was not right. And it leaves us like that. And it leaves us like that. But this is a major question in the enormous mitzvah of learning, of learning Torah, of teaching Torah, of the responsibility of the sages, whether it should be to a clique of people that are 100% devoted to Limud Torah, or the other way around, openly to everyone. That's a big question. I will move ahead to Shulchan Aruch. No, perhaps there is, Mishnat Rabbi Eliezer. That Mishnat Rabbi Eliezer, I forgot about it. It's in the last page of the pages that you have in front of you, up there. דבר זה אסור לאומרו בפני עם הארץ שלא יתרשל מללמוד. ויש אומרים מצווה לאומרו בפני עם הארץ שלא יתרשל בשאר המצוות שבידו ויאמר אינו חשוב כלום. And please read the translation because this is another perspective to this. So please, Shoshi.
It is forbidden to say to Am Haaretz that he will not be negligent in Talmud Torah. It is a meritorious act so that he will not be negligent in observing the rest of the mitzvot by saying, my deeds are meaningless.
I just learned 2 words in Torah and nobody counts it, so why observing the entire mitzvot? So it will change. Not only will open the gates of Limud Torah in front of him, but it will change his entire attitude towards.
מה זה משנת רבי אליעזר? זה ספר?
זה כן. זה ספר, אבל כן, אספו שם כל מיני ממרות של רבי אליעזר. זה קולקשן כזה. קולקשן. I move ahead to another example. We go far ahead. We go to the Rama on Shulchan Aruch, ביורא דעה, בהלכות ריבית. Rama, 16th century, wrote his notes on the Shulchan Aruch, 16th century as well, and this is what he said. יש אומרים שמותר לישראל לומר לחברו ישראל. שולחן ערוך. שולחן ערוך. Okay? Have you got it? If you read the Hebrew, it is on page... Second page in the book. יש אומרים שמותר לישראל לומר לחברו ישראל לך והלווה לי מעות מפלוני ישראל בריבית, ומותר לתת אחר כך הריבית לשליח להביאו לו, שלא אסרה תורה אל הריבית הבאה מיד לווה למלווה, והשליח אינו עושה שום איסור, דהי ריבית לבדידי הוא, ואם משום ששלוחו של אדם כמותו אין שליח לדבר עבירה. ואין לפרסם הדבר בפני הארץ. Please read the English and then we'll give the explanation. Please.
They are those that say that it is allowed for Israel to say to his Israel friend, go and get me a loan from another Israel with interest, and it's permitted to give the shaliach the interest money upon paying the debt. Because the Torah Isur is only when the interest is transferred directly from the hands of the lender to the hands of the borrower. And the mediator does no Isur, because this interest is not his. and the rule the shaliach is the same as the sender does not exist while committing transgressions, but it is forbidden to publicize this rule.
So you see the policy of Rema. And Rema, Rabbi Moshe Isserlich, greatest posek of the Ashkenazim, every Ashkenaz follows the Rema. And he said, I know, people say it, and he gives all the explanations why, and justify this saying, but he said, it is forbidden to say to Am Haaretz. And I think that he says that it is forbidden to say to Am Haaretz because people will say Torah is not a real thing. It is something that you do it like this, and you do it like that, and you go around it this way, and you go around the other way, then, okay. And Ribit is such a severe thing, so if we can go around the Ribit, we can do whatever we want. And he is afraid of it, so he said it is forbidden. On the Rema, there are notes of the Levush, Rabbi Mordechai Yaffe, and Rabbi Mordechai Yaffe said, you see it, it's just Levush, Rabbi Mordechai Yaffe is right after the Rema, and he wrote notes on the Rema, and I think that you will read the English, because it is.
Although it is said it is forbidden to teach so Am Haaretz, Torah did not command to hide a heter, and the Torah was given in public to entire Am Israel, both Chachamim and Am Haaretz.
Okay. He said, in other words, he said, it is forbidden to say that it is forbidden to say things to Am Haaretz. This is what is forbidden. Torah was given in public. Torah was given to everyone. It is not the role, it is not only that it is not the role of Chachamim that know more to hide things, it is forbidden. They should not hide things. And that's what he said here. תורה לא ציוותה להעלימו אם היה היתר מן התורה. והתורה בפומבי ניתנה לכל ישראל, לקטנים ולגדולים, לחכמים ולעמי הארץ. It is not your Torah. The fact that you are חכם, it does not say, gives you any over people that are not. And he keeps on, he say,
the Torah forbids limit, interest, in order to force people to do gmilut chesed, so that the borrower would be able to overcome his poverty and leave without being subjected to the lender. Therefore, if I had enough authority, I would have ruled that this permission given by the Rema should be erased from all books, because in our days with the print, everyone could read, and they will make the entire Torah a issur of ribit and mockery.
So what does he say? At first, when we read the first sentence, we thought that he said that the Rama should write down the permission to do it via a mediator, give the loan via a mediator, and then get the interest. That's how we understood the levush, because one should not hide heter. But he says the other way around. He said it is written in the Torah that interest is forbidden. This is the only thing that is written in the Torah. The fact that the Chachamim found all these ways, and this is not shlucho shel adam kmoto, and this is these are things that should be erased from the books. This is the priority that Chachamim cannot take upon themselves. You cannot read the Torah in this manner at all. Not to publish, not for Chachamim and for nobody. If I had the power, I would have erased it from all the books of the Rama. But what can I do? There is print and it is all over and everybody knows. But if it's unbelievable, because he is so afraid that people will read Rema, will read it is forbidden to say to Am Haaretz what they already. Nobody is Am Haaretz when there is print. Everybody can read Rema. So what is the meaning of don't say to Am Haaretz? This is the Rama. And I'm skipping way ahead and going to Rav Ovadia Yosef. And Rav Ovadia Yosef, now the translation is very short and the Hebrew is longer, but I'll say it shortly. And he speaks here about kisui rosh, covering the head of women. And he starts and he says, I'll read the Hebrew and translate it, and in short it is translated. ובאמת, שנוסף על כל הנ"ל, לולא דמסתפינא מרבותיי היה נראה לי לצדד כולה בעניין עוברות על דת שבזמננו. ואף על פי שדבר זה אסור לאומרו בפני עם הארץ להקל חס וחלילה נגד חתונת חז"ל, ואמרתי לא אזכרנו, אך נלאיתי קלקל ולא אוכל, ותורה אמת כתיב בה. And this is another thing that this is really Rav Ovadia Yosef. Torah emet ktiv ba. Torah is Torah emet. So if I know something and I know that this is the truth, I can't. I have to say it. And I know if I wouldn't be so afraid from my rabbis, and this is Takanat Chazal for so many years, I would have said that one should be maker in terms of Kisui Rosh. Especially because when he's speaking Shut Yabi Omer, the background of it is that it is written in the Mishnah that if a woman is not obeying to Dat Yehudit, not Dat Moshe, but Dat Yehudit, her husband can throw her away without Ketubah. And what are the examples for Dat Yehudit? Dat Yehudit, the famous example is that there are three examples. One is that she is speaking with everyone in the marketplace, and the other one is that she is working with a spinning wheel and then she is not so tzanua, not so because she reveals, she lifts her hands up, etc., and she reveals body somehow. And the third one, or the first one that is mentioned there, that she is walking pu'at rosh bashul. What is Perua Rosh? Is it the opposite of being going to salon and setting your hair beautifully? Is it the opposite of covering the hair? Is it the opposite of... This is a major question, but we are not dealing now with Kisui Rosh. But this is a whole shiur, long shiur, and it is always a question. But it is written there, according to any explanation that you will give, that if a woman walks in the market pu'at rosh, then her husband can throw her without ketubah. Now, so now, people came to Bet Din, and this was the case. People came to Bet Din. Rav Ovadia Yosef was a dayan many years, and a man came and he said, okay, I want to throw my life and not pay her anything because she's walking without Kisui Rosh. So you can take the Mishnah and use it. And Rav Ovadia Yosef wrote his tshuva because of this, and he said, HaTorah Yemet. It is not so easy to say, ונראה לי לצדד, that's what the first sentence, נראה לי לצדד כולה בעניין עוברות הדת. I have to say, I want to say, I need to say that one should be מקל nowadays with the effect of women that are walking without covering their head. And then I wrote, but I don't think that you have it with the translation in front of you. But at the end he said, he wrote, you know, I don't know if you've seen Yabiya Omer, the responses of Ovadia Yosef. It is long, 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 long. And there is not a single word written before him over the subject by any Chacham that is not mentioned in his tshuva. He was like an encyclopedia. He knew everything. So it is very long. It is interesting what I underlined the most interesting sentences. So I will read the Hebrew and Shoshi will translate without text in front of her. Thank you. ומעתה, יש מקום לומר, I will try myself. מעתה יש מקום לומר, דווקא בדורות קודמים דיינינן הכי. שרוב ככל אנשים צנועות בלבושן. Once, when all women were so צנוע, הפורצת גדר הצניעות ועוברת על דעת, ריח חזקתה. כי נפש יקרה תצוד. If all women are walking in a certain way, very צנוע, and one woman is behaving completely different, then one can rule against her. Because she נותנת מקום לחשד של זנות, שפרצה קוראת לגנב. Because she is showing us out so different. אבל בזמן הזה, שדשו רבים בלבושים מודרניים כאלה, everybody goes like this, לשמור אורחות פריז, it's amazing, because the pasuk is לשמור אורחות פריץ, but he knows where the mode came from, it's לשמור אורחות פריז, ולא ניחא למראי ולמי מרקולו דחשי דאזנות חס וחלילה. So we will say that all women are suspected to בזנות, it's unlikely. שהרי אינן עושות כן אלא מתוך שגרה. This is their way of life. ולא נחשדו על דברים חמורים של זנות ולמעול מעל בבעליהן. And now we will say that they are walking like this in the street according to the mode of Paris in order to disobey their husband. It's unlikely. והרי לדאבון ליבנו ידועים מקרים רבים שכמה בנות שלא קיבלו חינוך חרדי טהור, למרות רצונה ללבוש בגדי צניעות, בושות בחברותיהן, אבל ייתנו אותן ללעג וקלס. There is this influence, this social influence, and they are all following one, except for those few that got the right education. אם כן, בוודאי שאין לחוש וכיוצא בזה לחשד זנות. Therefore, I should say that the rule that if a woman goes without kisui rosh, this is a reason for giving her husband the permission to give her a get without paying her what he is obligated to, is not right. And the Torah is emet. And then he ends. ומכל מקום, אין בידינו לעקור חס וחלילה אפילו במשהו תקנת חז"ל, שאף על פי שאפשר שבטל הטעם, לא בטלה גזרה. והם אמרו, עוברת על דת תצא בלא כתובה. But, and the big but is, and this is a major, אבל, it is a saying of Chazal. And it is written in the Mishnah. And we cannot just like that make it expiring. It is in the Mishnah. And they say, עוברת על דת תצא בלא כתובה. And we cannot say the words, בטל טעם בטלה גזרה, בטל טעם בטלה גזרה, that the reasoning for the decree is not existing anymore. Therefore, one should annul the decree. So what am I going to do? And he ends his tshuva, leaving things a bit open.
מה הוא פסק להלכה?
פסק להלכה שלבית דין זה לא מספיק טוב, but he will not say out loud that it is not such an avera if a woman...
כלומר, זה לא הולך.
זה לא הולך, but one could not use it in בית הדין. And he walked in between, and that's the way, this is his psak. But I think that to our discussion, he adds some very, very important arguments. One argument is that it is not so easy to annul sayings of Chazal. In spite of the fact that we know we are very clever, very intelligent, we know the background, and we know that things change, and we know all these things, and we can give so many historical, sociological, psychological explanations to certain sayings of Chazal, and saying rightfully that it does not exist anymore. And still, it is a problem, because this is an entire attitude towards what Chazal taught us. Yes, please.
I wonder if this is not a kind of polemic that really doesn't reflect what's going on, because Rosh Harua, as you say, it's not clear what it means. And if I think of a traditional society like, let's say, Afghanistan today, a woman without head covering is just not possible. So I can't imagine that in like Talmudic times there really was a woman walking around without head covering.
Perhaps
it
yes,
must
perhaps not.
mean something else.
Why do you think that Pakistan, Afghanistan, this is parallel to what was at the Talmudic time? Nobody knows.
Yeah,
Nobody knows. You know, there is I don't want to speak about covering the head because it's a long thing. But just a note, a small note. The Rashba, which is not a great maker in anything, said in the relating to that nowadays in his time women are used to cover their hair, but to take off their hair in order to cover their cheeks, and this hair they color with colors, and that's the way they walk out, and this is okay because this is the way that they are used to do it. You wouldn't imagine. But I don't know about, I don't know anything about Paris mode, but I really don't know about the mode in the time. I don't know. But what happened was that during the generations, or during the halachic process, it was quite understandable that the meaning of Peru Rosh, lo tetzeh beperu Rosh, she should cover her hair. And still, if you are speaking about Torah Emet, and you know things I don't know, but like Rav Ovadia, he's really in a conflict. And if there is misuse of this halacha, and this was drove him to write this, that the husband can come to he agreed that his wife will go without any cover over her, and the story there is amazing, like the stories in the Tshuvot. They brought pictures of them together with in bathing suits on the beach. He with her. All kind of. At the end, he paid whatever he needed to pay, and Rav Ovadia forced him to give the get at that time. But that's the story. I want to say that the argument.
So take Masechet Sotah. Look what's written there about the Para Rosha. And then you know what is Para.
And then
so easy. You don't
so easy, and this is not covering the head. Okay. Perhaps, but this is not the Rambam, this is not Shulchan Aruch, this is not any of the others, so it is not so easy.
Rambam is even Machmir.
Machmir, two covers, yeah.
I don't even want to go on the Kisur Rosh, the halachic, but on the tzniut of how to be dressed. I am pretty sure that even the most tzniut lady nowadays, if she would have been living at the times of the Gemara, and she would have been walking around with a skirt that goes under her, just under the knee, she would have been called Kekaprize.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps you're right.
Why am I saying? It means that we have a development in time of Paris that brings and we
of Paris of all generations. You're right. And so let's take what you've said and go back to our discussion. And let's say, so what leads our religious life or our halachic life? Are we letting the Torah be moved by the winds of the generation, of the modes, of the culture around us, or we say, no, the Torah is strict and as is, and we change ourselves according to the Torah, and I don't care what's going out there, because otherwise the Torah will not be Torah anymore. Is the Torah showing us a way, or are we walking in the way and trying to adjust the Torah to our ways?
No, but you have interpretations, because there are rules like don't steal, and that's what black and white. But rules like be tzanua.
But there is a rule. There is a rule. Don't take interest. And you live in France, in Swiss, and banks in Swiss. You know, I don't have to add any to this. The entire economy is based on interest, and it is forbidden in the Torah so many times, and the Rema is trying to do his most to allow or not. He leaves it like this. And the Levush said, I can't do anything. I want to, but I can't. So is that Torah? Isn't it so explicitly say in the Torah that it is forbidden? And I can give you many others. Many other examples. And this is, but it has two sides to the question. One side relates to halakha, and the other side relates to the subject that we talked about beforehand. And the subject that we talked about beforehand was the subjects of limud. What is Torah now? Now that so many people of the Jewish people are not observant. Shall we open Batei Midrash for people that we know that will not take Torah seriously? It will be culturally, but it will not be their way of life. Or they will put in the Torah different interpretations that are not following the way of our sages, of the Mishnah, of the Gemara, of the Halakha, etc. What is the right way? And what are we doing with all the questions? I don't know. With what am I going to do with all the questions that my students ask me about the difficult to understand? They want to be observant. They want to know that, but the Halakha puts such statements and that one cannot live.
Limitations.
So
can everybody come into your midrasha?
Can everyone come to the midrasha? It is
if she comes
we say that we have
open the door, because maybe she will do something.
Okay, I'll tell you right away. We have our rules, and we ask our students to keep to the rules, because of this is the codes of behavior at the midrasha. So I don't know what she does at home, and I'm not. But in the midrasha there is no chilul Shabbat. In the midrasha there is certain dress code. In the midrasha there is certain because this is the way that if you come here, you live in Rome.
Every place it's like this. Somebody wants to come to this synagogue and not.
No, but I'm not speaking about this. I'm speaking about your initiatives. Are you going out there, opening a bet midrash? That's a question, because so many people out there have no connection at all. I'm not speaking about a place that the idea of we are meant mostly for religious women that want to know more. But we also open other courses to the general public, and we don't ask them who you are. And they come every week to the midrasha, and I don't know if we are doing the right thing or not. I'm teaching them Torah. I don't know. It is a question. It is really a question. Yeah.
To come back to the main question, I think that the main problem is in these 4 words. He said, "Shebatel atam lo batla gzera." This is a problem when there is a gzera. Is it removed if the batel atam or not? I think there is there is even contradiction between Rabat and Rambam about the two Shukei Yerushalayim. Rabat says, Batel Atam, Batel Agzera. Others say that the Gezerah was already initially so previewed that if Batel Atam, Batel Agzera. Donc, that's
a major, in Halacha, this is a major question. It is really a major question. I would like to read together with you part of Ma'amar that was in Tchumin, as you see down there. Tchumin is the periodics of Haretzion of Machon Herzog, Tzomet. And I think that this is the place where this is the most vivid place of writing halachot and dealing with questions, and they write more and more ma'amarim, very interesting on all subjects, really living the life and reacting to life. There was it is already many years ago, written by Rav Yitzchak Arame. Rav Yitzchak Arame was a rabbi in Gush Katif. Of one of the yeshuvim there, and he was murdered there when he was there. His name, Rav Yitzchak Arame, is following the name of Rav Yitzchak Arame, the Baal Akedat Yitzchak, from the time of the Gerus Farad, of the expulsion from Spain. And he was a very, very, very halachic, this Rav Yitzchak Arame, halachic person, and the question was whether women are allowed to dress pants. That was the question, he said. So he said like this. And we come back to halachic issues, and I will read the Hebrew, and you will, and then Shoshi will. ממילא, כשיש מכנסיים שרק נשים לובשות, והם רחבים ואינם צמודים לגוף, ולעיתים בלבישתם יש אפילו יותר צניעות מאשר בשמלות ובחצאיות. והמטרה היא גם לשמור יותר על חום הגוף, מותר לנשים ללובשם. יש אוסרים מכנסיים כאלו משום החשש שהדבר יוביל להיתר ללבוש מכנסיים הדוקים לגוף. כנגד עומדים לגוף, what is called the slippery slope. כנגד עומדים כבודה של תורה. כנגד עומדים כבודה של תורה, תוקפה, שייכותה וצעידתה יחד עם החיים ולטובת החיים. חששות מהן אלו פוגעים בכבודם של התורה וחכמיה. הלא כשטען משה שבכתיבת נעשה אדם בצלמנו כדמותנו ניתן פתחון פה למינים, השיב לו הקדוש ברוך הוא כתוב, והרוצה לטעות יטעה. גילוי האמת והאמירה הברורה עדיפים על חששות, ואפשר שהחסרה זו היא בגדר הציווי, לא תגורו מפני איש. So please, it's amazing. Shoshi, read please.
Such pants that are aimed for women only and that are not too tidy are allowed. There are those that forbid such pants as well because of their worry that it will be learned as a general permission for tidy pants as well. But one should consider the truth, honor, and validity of the Torah. Such worries are a disrespect of the Torah and Chachamim. When Moshe claimed that the pasuk, "We shall create a man," might be understood as duality, the holy Bihim answered, "Right, and whoever wants to be mistaken will be." Revealing the truth and clear psika are more important than any worry. This is the meaning of the commandment, "Lo tagor b'pnei ish." Ye shall not respect persons in judgment. Ye shall hear the small and the great alike. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of any man.
Yes.
You've mistaken the English tight and not tight.
Tight. Sorry. I think it is amazing. It is meant to hear it from a rabbi nowadays, because Lot Hagur B'nei Ish is quite a thing now. But I think that the most important question, sentence is here. Shemineged to all these considerations, whether you will reveal or you will not reveal, you will say to Amei Haaretz, don't say to Amei Haaretz. Don't forget, said Rav Yitzchak Arame, that at the opposite, or on the other side, stand כבודה של תורה, תוקפה, שייכותה וצעידתה עם החיים ולמען החיים. The translation did not give you the entire thing, but what he said is that one should consider, one should consider the truth, the honor, the validity of the Torah, and that the Torah relates to life and goes together with life. And because of that, a rabbi should not be afraid to say whatever he thinks that this is the truth of the Torah. והתורה אמת, as Rav Ovadia said, he didn't take his words to the end, but he said Torah is emet. And I think that when we are dealing with both aspects of this question, both in terms of what is considered beseder in terms of limud Torah, if opening the gates of limud Torah, opening the gates of Bet HaMidrash, what is beseder, and are there limitations on one hand? And then, on the other hand, dealing with things that relates to halakha. The fear that if we will say that this is okay, then the slippery slope and whatever will happen, and who knows what will happen, is making people be afraid, speaking not the truth of the Torah, but going around the truth of the Torah in order to keep their own world as is, without being brave enough to see that the Torah is there during the changes in life, during the changes of purpose, and the Torah is the truth and will remain like this. It reminds me that with this I will end about, I think it was already 15 years ago, something like that. There wasn't a question, perhaps even more, there was a question about women saying Kaddish Yetomah. A major question about women saying Kaddish Yetomah. And one of the rabbis and people, and there was a Rav, sorry that I forgot his name, I'm so sorry. המביא דבר בשם אומרון. That's my chance to bring גאולה. In a minute I will, perhaps you will know. Wrote a whole מאמר הלכתי, why there is no problem that women will say Kaddish.
And there are minhagim? All German minhagim?
No, before. No. Then other people related to it.
זה בשפרמן?
לא שפרבר כתב את זה. לא, תכף אני זוכר. Sorry. Yes, the one of אתר דעת. You know the דעת. No, who is the... No. Sorry. Anyway, he wrote it. And then another rabbi, which I will not mention him name, but his name I remember, wrote that all the argumentations are right. And it is, halachically, it is 100% right. But, Amidron Achalaklak. That was the title. I mean, the title of the response to this, the slippery slope. If you allow this, then what will happen? And one of the awful things that will happen is that maybe women will ask to be קורא בתורה, because is it written in the Mishnah that הכל עולים למניין שבעה, and what will happen in our world? Let's keep it secretly. Don't publicize such היתרים, because you don't know how it will end. And it became an argument, and everybody talked about everybody. Everybody now a small swamp of, and everybody talked about it. And then there was a conference of, and I was asked to speak there. And therefore I know why it was not Sperber for sure, because he was also responding to this. And the title that I gave to my part was, are we walking down the hill on the slippery slope, or לעלות בהר השם? And I think that should be what this is not mine. This is the pasuk of David HaMelech. מי יעלה בהר השם ומי יקום במקום קודשו, נקי כפיים ובר לבב. ואני חושב, I think that נקי כפיים ובר לבב, this dignity and this honesty and this sticking to the truth is the way that one should deal with the entire problems of, and the goal must be מי יעלה בהר השם.
You mean Rav Henkin's children?
No. Yehuda Eisenberg, Rav Yehuda Eisenberg, of course. Rav Yehuda Eisenberg, he was the one that Rav Henkin wrote about it. Many wrote about it afterwards, but at that time, the entire issue was around this psika of Rav Yehuda. I think that I got the hint.